Hello, hello. The DCS Chronicles podcast is here. The long awaited break is finally over. I am your host, Akaiwa Green, and I am so excited to embark on this journey with you all. There'll be many exciting things going on in today's program. I'm talking about talent, inspiration, and a hearty conversation, and so much more. Today's theme is DCS Diaries, Truths and Triumphs. And with a theme like this, I'm sure the entire DCS family will want to stay tuned. Yes, sit tight because today we'll be opening up the DCS diaries and spilling some truths while exposing our triumphs. And to seal the deal, I have the right person to share some insights into the ins and outs of the department. That's right, our special guest with me today is the chair of the Department of Communication Studies. Yes, here at the Northern Caribbean University, I'm talking about Miss Noreen Daly. And if you didn't know, well, Miss Daly has been in the driver's seat for the last 6 years, and she's shared in many of the department's triumphs. So, tell me, isn't she the perfect person to sit in the hot seat today? I think so. So, let's get into the nitty-gritty, but right after this.
Week of Excellence 2023 is done and dusted. But 2024 is fast approaching. April 6 to 14, we meet under the theme, DCS, Dare to Conquer and Serve. Mark your calendars.
Welcome back. As I told you prior to the break, we have Miss Noreen Daly, the chair of the Department of Communication Studies, DCS, here with us today. She will be riding along with us for the duration of today's episode as we delve into the DCS Diaries, Truths and Triumphs. So, Miss Daly, before we start, hi, how are you doing today?
I am good. Thanks for having me.
Okay, great. So we have a lot to talk about. So let's get comfortable and just start off with a quick icebreaker. Now, the question we have for you today. If you could swap lives with a movie character for a day, who would it be and what's the first thing you'd do in their shoes?
Maybe a TV character would have been better for me.
Okay,
though.
give us a TV character.
Oprah.
Oprah. And
Why?
why?
Because I think Oprah has been able to interview and meet some of the literal movers and shakers of this world and of this century. So I just love to be able to just sit and, do what it is that she's able to do on a regular basis, which is really just, connect with people. And in her connecting with people, she continues to inspire a lot of others.
True.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good one. I didn't see that coming, but that's a good one. Okay, so how do you feel about the DCS Chronicles coming back to life? Where's your mind at right now?
I am happy. I am happy for that. And I want people to know that a lot of the things that we do are usually student ideas that we actually just help to execute, because DCS Chronicles is an idea from Cassandra some years ago. It evolved into a TV program. So now, and then years ago, I remember in an exit interview, maybe about a year or two ago, somebody said, "But Miss, the TV students have lunch bag. What do the radio students have?" So now to see that now this is something that is coming back, so the radio students can own it and help it to help them to just hone their craft. I'm happy that it's coming back.
Okay, great. And I'm glad you answered that because we wanted to, give the newbies to the department an insight on what DCS Chronicles is, and where it's coming from. So I'm glad you got that out of the way.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So, how exactly do you hope that DCS Chronicles will impact the department? What's your hope for that, aspect?
All right. So my hope is that it will become a regular feature and just an addition to our offerings in terms of experience for our radio students in particular.
Okay, great. And I think that this is something that after this, after this group, revamps DCS Chronicles, that it will continue for the
Yes.
students that are to come. I'm really hoping that, we
Yes.
continue
Yes.
with this, and I believe we will. All right.
Yes.
So we have so much more to talk about, listeners, but we have to pause to zoom in on someone special. It's time for backstory. Welcome to Backstory, where we illuminate the brilliant, talented minds within our department and embrace the life and times of those who've passed through our walls. We have a very special guest joining us in our entertainment segment today. He is Jadon Gray. Jadon Gray is a distinguished alumni of the Department of Communication Studies here at Northern Caribbean University. His expertise spans various domains, but his area of focus is television. Not only is he a seasoned media practitioner, but he's also garnered acclaim as an accomplished audio engineer, both within our department and the wider media industry. Currently, Jadon thrives as a freelance audio engineer, and he's not keeping that knowledge to himself, as he's currently a teacher at the Heart NSTA, specializing in communication studies, of course. He's a skilled saxophonist, and today we have the privilege of experiencing a piece of his musical skill. This piece is entitled Reach by Gloria Estefan.
Now that's it for entertainment today. See you next time.
All right. So we're back and we're peeling back the layers and diving into the fun side of our chair, Miss Daly. You know, we want to understand her personality a little bit more. So I know she doesn't see this coming, but we'll be hitting her with a series of this or that questions, getting to know her
Okay.
quirks, preferences,
Okay.
and maybe, a few guilty pleasures. So let's
Okay.
start it off easy. Miss Daly, chocolate
Mm-hmm.
or candy, and why?
Chocolate.
Chocolate.
Yes, in whatever form. Yes, definitely. Yes.
Okay.
I have a
Okay.
sweet tooth, and chocolate is my preference.
Okay.
Mm.
All right. So right
Mm-hmm.
now we're not agreeing. Are you an early bird or a night owl?
Early. I
Early?
do my best work in the mornings.
As in, when we're talking about early, like 10 o'clock early or like 6 o'clock early?
It depends because I get up early. I go to the gym, so I'm at the gym by
Whoa.
6:30 thereabout. So yeah, I'd say anytime from 6 onwards is good for me.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Are you a city person or a more countryside person? So if you should choose between Kingston or Portland, what would you choose?
Portland, miss. I don't have to think about that. Really, all of that congestion. No,
That was a
Portland.
quick answer. That was
Yes,
a quick
ma'am.
answer.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah,
All right.
Portland. Mm-hmm.
Would you rather lose sleep or skip a meal?
Lose sleep, miss. I'm a foodie. I love food.
You'd rather lose sleep, miss?
Yes.
If we're talking about snacks, right? Are you
Mm-hmm.
more of a salt and vinegar person or sour cream and onion? And there's only one
No,
correct answer.
no, to the sour and cream. No, think of contrasting taste. I
Mm-hmm.
like sweet and sour. So that's why one of my
Okay.
favorite things to eat would be sweet and sour chicken.
Okay. And are you
Mm-hmm.
a more of a phone call type of person or a text message?
It depends on the person.
It depends on the
But
person. That's
yes,
fair.
it does. I love good conversations,
Mm-hmm.
and the conversations can happen whether by a phone call or via text. But I just love to connect with people.
All right. And when it comes to going out and dressing up, would you rather sneakers or are you a more heels type of a person?
No, miss, to the heels, no.
No to the heels?
No to the heels, no. I like to dress up, but I will dress up. It probably won't be heels.
Heels.
I am more of a what I call that kind of heels, almost like a chunky kind of heels bit.
Ah,
Never
so
came
nothing
in the
too
chat last week.
spiky.
Yeah, no, miss. I'm not into the womb tilter kind of thing. That's for you young people. The womb tilter thing is not age appropriate. All right, for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
for social media, are you more Facebook or Twitter?
That's kind of tricky because I think when it come on to both of them, let me say Facebook. Yeah, let me say
Alright.
Facebook.
Facebook kind
Mhm.
of
I
Asian
know
though.
Facebook is old, I know, and I'm old. It's showing my age, but it's fine. I've embraced it. It's fine.
That's fair.
Hmm.
So we just
Hmm.
got to know Miss Daly a little bit more. We have some other interesting things coming up because we're going to be diving into our theme right after we take echoes of empowerment. It's time for Echoes of Empowerment with me, Akaiwa Green, where we aim to inspire the next generation of media practitioners through the experiences and encouragement of those who have come before us. Joining me today is no stranger to the media landscape. I'm talking about radio announcer and managing director of the NCU Media Group, Mr. Arnold Kelly. So, Mr. Kelly, tell us a bit about your journey as a media practitioner.
My journey in media is a very interesting one because it started out with me thinking about this in a way that I was just doing that, thinking about it, because I knew for a fact that it would be impossible. There was no way that this little boy from the hills of Maroon Town, St. James, was going to be able to get on the air to be talking to anybody. But I was wrong. and I'm happy I was. At the end of high school, I remember observing the outside broadcast team from JBC Radio West, Aubrey Campbell, Godfrey Kennedy, Calvin Shaw, and those who would show up at Cornwall College to cover the football matches. And I kept watching, and I was thinking to myself, boy, I'd love to do this. I wish they'd just give me a chance to do this. But, of course, I was not one who was bold enough to walk up and say, hey, how do I get in? So I would just observe from a distance.
What inspired you to choose this path? Like, what specifically, sent you in this direction?
I chose this path because I saw media as being a powerful tool to reach people. I grew up in the church, and I enjoyed opportunities to find new ways of reaching people. So events happening in the community, I would be involved, whether as an MC or, yes, as a singer too, and so on. And I saw radio as putting on longer arms. It was just a greater way of reaching more people with whatever message it is that I would want to be disseminating.
And what advice would you give young and upcoming media practitioners, and why?
And upcoming media practitioners? Well, for me, it's just that one needs to understand that media, radio, television, they're not just there for entertainment. It's not all about the bright lights and the excitement and the hype. There's more to it, because a lot of the work that radio does, for instance, is not in the hype that it carries. Subtle messages through the spoken word, through music. Music is powerful. Words are powerful. And they can help to determine how your day starts and how it ends. If you extend it, you'll realize that it can also determine the trajectory of your life. And so it should never be seen only as an entertainment tool. It comes with a lot of responsibility. And if you don't plan to take it seriously, then I don't believe this profession is for you. But on the other hand, if it is something that you take seriously and it is your passion, then I believe that you will see great results. Not just in what you get out of being a media professional, but more so how the rest of the world benefits from your presence in this space.
On behalf of everyone listening to this, every upcoming media practitioner, I want to send my heartiest gratitude to Mr. Arnold Kelly for this inspirational message. Welcome back. All right. So, Miss Daly, the DCS experience is quite a unique one. It's an experience to have. I encourage it. Students over the years have had to, find coping mechanisms and different ways of navigating those, very important 4 years of our lives. Now, I know that for the average lecturer, they catch on to most of our tricks and tricks because there are one students too. But I will be sharing some confessions of the DCS student with you or chair, and we will, want your raw reaction and advice to these statements. I'll be sharing them with you. I'll be reading the comments to you, and then, you just give us your reaction off the bat. Yeah?
Not a problem.
All
yes,
right.
ma'am.
So, one student says, and I quote, ChatGPT is my best friend when it comes to writing my scripts and essays because these lecturers want too much out of me, and it can get very overwhelming sometimes.
Okay. My own take on ChatGPT is that yes, it can help, but I think it might also help have them to be lazy. So if it is that they're in a space where at some point they won't have access to it, what then? So my advice to that person is strike the balance and find a way to ensure that you are able to do some of these things, and if when you get out there, you're able to do it comfortably.
Okay. Now, number two, this person says, for TV and radio classes, I just ask my friends that have already graduated or done the course to edit my work as it is easier and I am guaranteed a good grade.
I will say this: you're in for a rude awakening when you get out there. Because when you get out there, on spot, you're asked to edit something. What are you going to do? Call your friend who will be at work somewhere else, or call whoever. Learn to do things by yourself and for yourself.
Okay, you heard that, and I agree with you, Miss, for that one. So
Mm-hmm.
now, another person says, sometimes I leave most of the group assignments or work to the more to the more enthusiastic students. They are more likely to get the work done and their grades will reflect on mine too. That's quite selfish, but okay, Miss, what do you
Yes.
have to say about that?
You're a leech and you're lazy and your day is coming. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, that's
Straight
it.
to the point.
Yes,
All right.
ma'am.
This one says, I feel like popularity pushes you further when you're in the Department of Communication Studies. I think some opportunities are given to just specific students.
And my reaction to that is that if it is that you don't volunteer or make yourself willing, we do
Right.
end up using those who are willing. So
Willing.
I've heard that before, and I
Mhm.
think we'll continue to hear it because there's some people who continue to stay in the background and expect that people will find them. Closed mouths don't get fed. So if you don't speak up and say, hey, Mr. Cuff, Miss Daly, now and again I can host something, or I can sing for Gen meeting, we won't
Right.
know.
Yes, you have to speak up, guys.
Yep.
Right. All right. This person says, when I'm in groups with some of my friends, they don't do any work because they know I'll put their names on the work. I know it's unfair, but I don't want to ruin our friendship because of a grade or let them fail.
You whoever wrote that, you're an enabler and you only help to foster laziness. So you're not helping. If it is that that person is your friend, you're not helping them to grow because you're helping them to just be leeches, and
Mm-hmm.
friends don't encourage people to leech off each other.
Exactly. That's so
Mm-hmm.
true. And now for the final one. This one is a bit tricky. Interesting, actually, because that's a crazy mindset to have. But this person says, I don't go crazy for the courses that aren't my core courses. Once I pass. No biggie.
Mm-mm. I will say this: be open and make sure you get what you need to get from other courses. Because for how this job landscape is, you might not end up in a space where you'd really want to. And
Right.
I'm not just saying this because I can say it, is because what continues to be proven. I've
Mm-hmm.
had people who left with PR with a PR emphasis, they end up in journalism and vice versa. I want to make sure that you know the basics in other
Right.
areas so that if you end up in a space, you'll be able to function and function effectively.
Right. Okay. Now, for our final one, this one says, I don't always, and I know this one will, touch you a bit because this person says, I don't always do my courses in the recommended order. If it's available, I'm going to do it.
Okay. All I will say to them to that person is this: speak to one of the seniors of for 2024, and they will tell you that that will haunt you later. Because what has happened right now
Mhm.
is that we have some seniors who didn't do a third year course because what some of them told me recently is that it would clash with something else. I said, okay, so it
Right.
clashed with something else and you told no one. So what has happened is that they're now in their fourth year, needing that third year course, which is broadcast management, which is a prerequisite for other things. And it is
Right.
going to have them stay with us a little while longer. So if that person continues to do that, they will stay with us a little while longer. And that we don't want.
Okay, so guys, if you can control it,
Yes.
take heed.
Yes.
All right. And so we just got Miss Daly's raw reactions to your comments. Some of them are quite interesting comments, but I digress. Coming up next, we have Genius Gem.
Welcome to Genius Gems, your treasure chest of media and communication tips, facts, and tidbits. Let's dive in and uncover some communication gems.
Active listening. This is the foundation of effective communication. Being a good listener. You're paying close attention to what others are saying, and you're asking questions, you're nodding your head, nonverbal communication at the right point.
No matter what you do, no matter which area you're focusing on, whether it's TV, journalism, PR, radio, you know that each of us as DCS students have to do, dabble a little in each area. Now, it is critical for us to, put your all in these little areas that we're not working in, because in life, you never know what will come at you. And leaving school, leaving NCU, as I said, you don't know where life will bring you. So you might finish and not get a job in your preferred area and have to be relying on your skills in another area to go throughout life. So yes, that's my tip for you guys.
And that wraps up another insightful edition of Genius Gems. We hope you've enjoyed uncovering the invaluable nuggets of wisdom and tips from your fellow schoolmates. Join us next time as we continue to delve into the sparkling world of media and communication. That was Genius Gems, where brilliance always shines through.
Hey you, here's a resolution for you. Mark your calendars as April 14 we gather for the Lignum Vitae Film Festival LVFF for 2024. This time around we look at themes surrounding conquering or service. Yes, it's the annual NCU film showcase, the Lignum Vitae Film Festival. Don't miss it.
Only because of grace. Welcome back. DCS has had some impressive students and past students that are making their mark in the media industry, Miss Daly. Tell me some instances or that one big instant that, made you extremely proud of the department and what it has produced. Tell me about one of those times where you're like, wow.
Mom, that's going to be difficult. And I want to tell you why that's going to be difficult. Because just maybe an hour or so ago,
right,
I was sent a short clip from Natalia Clark, who is currently at CVM. And on that clip had Trisha Gay Kelly and Raman Gordon. Just showing me that there are 3 DCS graduates in the CVM newsroom. And I know that there are others as well who are at CVM. So that right off the bat gave me a good feeling. They're literally already making their mark. And I remember recently I was watching CVM, and of the 4 or 5 stories, about 2 of them were from Trisha and 1 was from that. And no, you asked, the differences. Something like that makes me feel good.
As a student, I can say I feel really great too, because, it gives us a sense of inspiration to know that,
Yes.
they did it. I can do this too. I see myself where they are right now.
Yes.
So it's really amazing. So now we're coming to the end of this. And so I am going to focus a bit on triumph, the word. It manifests itself in multiple ways. And one of the truest forms of this is giving back to the community. What impact do you think DCS has made where community outreach is concerned? And, do you think the department, has done enough and is, the plans?
I never think we're doing enough, because we can always do more. I will give a bit of history and then say, over time, DCS Arms of Love, one of the outreach arms, has done work with Hanbury Home for children. We've done Curfew Home for retired ex-servicemen and women. That's been over time. And just recently, the Burgundy Jacket Holders told us about mustard seed, and we partnered with them and gave some non-perishable. And now currently we're doing a diaper drive for them. So I think over time we've done a lot. I hope that we can get to the point where just on a regular basis, we can know, okay, this set is doing that, this set is doing that. So it's something that we're going to streamline and make it a bit more regularly. because it takes cash to care.
Right.
So if we had the resources, we'd be doing more. But we're gonna find creative ways of doing that. Okay.
So you heard it from Miss Daly herself. You got to know her a little bit more. We got to learn a little bit more about the department, what the department has been up to, some of the amazing students that, pass through the department, and just some advice on how to navigate, being a student of the Department of Communication Studies. Miss Daly, it was amazing to have you with us. I know a lot of persons are going to be quite intrigued with the conversation we just had. And I appreciate you taking the time out to, join us on the first episode of the revamp of DCS Chronicles.
All right. Thank you so much for having me. It was my pleasure.
We have made it to the end of episode 1 for the DCS Chronicles podcast. I hope this experience was as thrilling for you as it was for me. Let us know what you took away from today's episode. Was the DCS Diaries or Truths and Triumphs intriguing to you? Let me know. Join us again in our next episode. Until then, bye.